Yo, welcome to another episode of Putting Two and Two Together. Today I got my boy Ahmad. What up, man?
What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate
Yes, sir.
you for having me, man.
My dog Ahmad is a college athlete, former college athlete. You're still looking for somewhere to play, right?
Yeah, honestly, like these next like upcoming months is really gonna be like crucial to if I'm gonna play next year or not. So I gotta make a big jump pretty much. You know, that's a personal thing though.
Dope.
Yeah.
And just name the schools you went to just for the youngins.
Okay, well, where should I start? Like from like just high school or like just from like college?
Yeah. Give us like a little rundown of like your basketball career. This episode is gonna be focusing on basketball, the journey of basketball, what a realistic, I should say, basketball journey in Canada looks like for a lot of you youngins out here who's watching. Ahmad is someone who has played basketball his whole life, that is still on the grind to this day, and we're just gonna talk about that a little bit in detail. So yeah, give us a little rundown on your basketball journey and what that kind of looks like.
Gosh, starting all the way from the beginning, I had to start at Holy Family, man. All the guys who know, they know, man. Holy Family is where like, you know, that competitive fire started because I was like a youngin'. I was around like 10 years old, seeing like all the high schoolers and middle schoolers at my during that time just play, and I just wanted to get into it, you know, be a part of that. And because obviously I was too young and the skills weren't like there yet. Like I'd always have to wait on the side and like wait for them like all those games to finish for me to actually like get a chance to like run with them. So started from there, and then I got a little older, you know, clicked up Ija around like 7th grade. And after, to be fair, like my basketball career really didn't start until like, I'm gonna say like maybe like, I'd say like 9th grade, because that's when I actually finally got onto an AAU team. Mm-hmm. I got cut from Gen like my first 2 years from like 7th grade to 8th grade. I didn't make the team. Yeah. And in 9th grade, I switched over, went to CYDC, you know, with like John Hegwa and Coach John Batista, who's all now over at Supreme Hoops Canada, you know, doing his thing over there. So I started off over there 9th grade, and then was at Mary's like the past or between
2014 it would be, right? Oh no, 2016. Yeah.
I mean, we're still old.
Yeah, we're old, but we're not that old. Yeah.
I'd say like
2016.
2016 to 2019.
Yeah.
Took a gap year because of pretty much COVID. You know, COVID hit just as like we started to graduate, and then we what was that we did? That CJBL?
Yeah, we did like a men's league for 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For
like exposure and all that. There was like a lot of films and all that. Mm-hmm. And that like program or that those sessions like really helped like get a lot of people in a position, you know, go further. Yeah. You know, myself included in Niger. So from there I went to Loyalist College for my 23 and 23-24 season. Yeah. You know, I was there for 2 years, got a diploma off there, and then I was over at Durham College last year, which we ended up winning the OCAA championships. Congrats. You know, wearing this on my my chest because of it. You know, the championships were over at Humber. It was a great experience to be a part of, and I also made it to nationals, came 2nd place. So yeah, that's how my basketball journey is going so far. So just trying to see what's next.
Right. Yeah. That's sick, man. That's sick. You know, a lot of kids definitely have dreams and aspirations of making college team, and a lot of kids have dreams and aspirations of playing college ball, and you definitely, you know, played at the highest level. I want to ask you, you said at Holy Family. For people that don't know, that's basically concrete outside in the concrete. No mesh.
Half the time.
Half the time. Just a rim next to a school. So what would you say to kids that are like just starting to get into basketball, right? Like what would you say is a requirement for them to go out there and do every day?
Just, it might sound weird, but just try to be a sponge, you know, just try to just soak up all the information, like energy that you, knowledge that you can, because it's like, when you enjoy what you're doing and like you're learning new things, then you start to like implement it in a game or practice or whatever, and you see it like working for you. It's like, for me, like personally, it was like a big like motivational thing, because like I'd practice it, I'd see someone do it, I would try doing it myself, it'd work, and then it would just make me want to learn more. So I feel like for all the new kids coming in and like trying to, you know, get your foot in the door as like a young kid, definitely like just have like a love and passion for the game. That's probably like number one.
Number one for sure. I like that. You know, I tell a lot of the kids that I train, just go out there and find a group that loves to play basketball.
Yeah.
And just try and make it as competitive as possible and be consistent. Go out there every day, no matter if it's a park outside, if it's your local, you know, YMCA. I think a lot of kids nowadays are missing that togetherness, right? A lot of kids are not going to the gym with 3, 4, or 5 people that, you know, love to play the game.
Yeah.
Right? So I think a big thing for guys under the age of 14, I would say, is you definitely got to build a habit of enjoying something, having fun with it, and also competing every day at either a local gym outside. That's something that's going to build your game, you know? So speaking on that, like nowadays, I say nowadays, like we're not still a part of that, but for real, it's very internet based right now, social media based.
Big time.
Like a lot of drill work other than
going on
21, you know what I mean? Elimination.
Ones.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what 21 elimination is, definitely do your research on that. But yeah, ones, you know, King's Court. How important do you think those mini games that you had outside with your friends or inside with your friends, how important was that to developing your, you know, your basketball skills?
I'd say, you know, when you're playing with friends,
Yeah.
like there's obviously like a level of closeness, you know, you could act and talk the way you want compared to if it was like a random civilian or a random like player that you're playing against. So I felt like it brought a lot of competitive fire, you know, in the beginning, because like you said, like we played 21, elimination. We used to play sign in, sign out. And our game got disrespectful, man.
Yeah.
You know, like they'd pick on you if you, like people would like team up and pick sides. Like I had to go through it growing up. So it was fun. And because like you're playing with friends, you're playing with people you know, and you know, there's probably trash talk involved. Like it will make you step up, will make you rise to the occasion. So that's something that I could say is something that I could say that
build some basketball character for yourself.
Yeah, definitely build basketball character. So
I'm telling you, I feel like when I train kids, like I'm like, you guys ever played 21? They're like, what's that? And I'm like, damn, bro, that's crazy. It really is. I really wonder where these guys are getting their information from to go out there and practice every day. Because YouTube is not a source that I feel like they're using. I can't speak for them, but I send YouTube videos to some of my clients and my kids, and I'm like, hey, do you guys watch any film, or do you guys watch any basketball breakdowns? What age did you start watching? I don't want to say film, but what age did you start actually watching basketball, picking up on little things, dribbling, shooting form, defensive techniques, you know, plays, like all those little things? I wouldn't say are film, but things that you can pay attention to. What age did that happen for you?
I'd say around like between the ages of like 14 and 15, I would say, just because 14 is when I got involved into the AAU. So yeah, that's kind of like late in terms of like other kids. 'Cause there's some people that I know that started a lot earlier, and you could tell, like even to this day, I could tell like just by the way they move and like the way they play, like there's they were always behind structure. Compared to me, I was sort of like, I had to like, I wouldn't say I had street ball tendencies, but like you could tell like I had like some sort of rawness to my game that I had to like work hard and like develop to become more sharper. So around like 14, 15, I was watching like shot mechanics, you know, just seeing like trying to pick up from like KD or Damian Lillard or Steph Curry or Kyrie about like all the little like nuanced stuff they do with their shot and try adding it to my own. I always love to like, what's it called, like dribble the basketball around. So I was watching like and one videos and stuff back when I was a kid, watching Hot Sauce and all that. So whatever, I'm a visual learner, so whatever I seen, I was just doing. I would just go out and try to do it in front of my house, in the living room, in the basement. Whether it was a basketball, a soccer ball, a tennis ball, I was just dribbling around the house, around the area. So, but in terms of like the breakdown of like the film and the videos, I'd say around like 14, 15 for sure. 15.
Yeah. How important, you mentioned Hot Sauce, Ball is Life. Did you start watching that at a younger age?
Yeah, definitely. Because I had older brothers that got me into like basketball. They'd be playing NBA Live 05, 07. Back when NBA Live was better than 2K. There was like a lot I was like grasping at that time. So I would literally like NBA Street Volume 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time. And then I was around like the age of like 6, using Clyde Drexler, and Michael Jordan and, Dominique Wilkins.
Right, so you kind of got more of a history of the game.
Yeah.
What people don't understand is that games and fun little videos like that, Ball is Life, The Professor, Hot Sauce, you said, those guys really shaped a lot of the basketball players that are really talented today. And I feel like, just to kind of get out on a reflective standpoint, I feel like we don't have that 2025, 2026. I know Ball is Life has got their one-on-ones that we were actually watching before this video, 3-on-3s. But I feel like that creativity in the game of basketball has kind of faded a little bit.
Yeah.
Would you say that helped your game extremely watching those guys, or is it something that, was just for entertainment?
I feel like it was like a mix of both, depending on how you see it. Because when you see stuff like that, it makes you want to try it. It makes you want to go out and do it. And then if you focus too much on it, then if you get put into actual like basketball field, you're on a basketball team. There's a clock, there's coaches, there's schemes, game plans. Then you can't really resort to that in like 100%. You need to. It's a 5-on-5. It's not a one-man thing. So that's where I can only think where it might hinder you. But other than that, I feel like it could definitely like be beneficial too in some aspects. So another thing too, what I think about is I feel like just more kids just need to just go out and hoop, because I feel like one thing that I've learned as I was also a coach too at one point for Supreme Hoops. And what I realized, like coaching, is that some of the kids, the only time they're playing basketball is if they're within the club, instead of like going out and like just trying whatever, playing with friends, playing against like just randoms, whatever, because I feel like that's what really builds like a player, when they're constantly playing, like a club. The club, I feel like with like a club is like they'll give you a platform to like make something happen, because now you're wearing like, their jerseys, your mom and your dad, spend their hard-earned money to put you in tournaments or fly you out wherever. And the club basically like puts you on that stage, but if you haven't been putting in the work prior, then like you might fall short. Clubs will teach you what they can, they'll get you doing the drills, keep you conditioned, but most of that grit and that grind comes from just doing it on your own, by yourself and like, closed hours. So Absolutely. Club basketball definitely changed my whole outlook on basketball, my whole perspective. Being someone who also used to watch a lot of Ball is Life, a lot of highlight tapes on YouTube. When I joined club, I started to see the team aspect of basketball. And I feel like that's a hard thing for kids under the age of 13, turning 14 to understand. I feel as a lot of the times I talk to kids,
the number one thing that comes up is being coachable. What do you feel about club basketball compared to a kid? How do you feel? Let me rephrase this. How do you feel about a kid that plays club basketball compared to a kid that doesn't play club basketball? Like, do you think you can be successful without playing club basketball? Broader topic.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. It's doable. You know, I feel like I can't think of names right now off the top of my head of like actual like players that didn't like really have access to like a club team. I feel like most of them did, obviously, or else they wouldn't be where they're at right now. But I feel like the best way to put it, it's like with people, with kids who are like who have like, let's say like a father who played like basketball at a college or something, or a coach, and he's like a part of like a program. They teach their children, you know, their sons or daughters, like fundamentals, you know, that stick with them throughout like any level of basketball. So compared to a kid that's like who's playing it out of the love of the game and passion and all that. Not that you know, kids who get like brought into it by like their parents don't have any passion or anything, but you know, they're doing it like all on their own. So they'll figure out ways to do like, you know, drive to the basket, you know, find ways to be a creative finisher, but it will be unorthodox, you know, it will be like different. It won't be like the norm. So when they get put in a position where, you know, they're playing against a defense that, you know, knows what they're doing or is easy to pick up, then that's when like things kind of like, you know, get thrown to the wayside. That's basically like my take on it, on terms of like someone who's came up through like a club and someone who didn't. Because I kind of fall in like the middle of that, because I came in like 14, sort of had like a raw game, a lot of dribbling, but I was quick, so I was able to like get by with it.
Right.
But like as I started to like learn and progress, I started to like realize like the little things to like maybe like slow down, you know, pace changing, you know, that's very important. If I knew that sooner, it would be
a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we're both 6 feet, you know. He laughed, man. Why is he laughing?
Because people don't think I'm 6 foot, man.
People don't think I'm 6 foot, but we're both 6 feet. Point guard, we're guards. On a really good basketball team, we're guards. We can't play any other position.
No.
What would you say to the 6 foot guard, 2026? What would you say that he has to work on and he has to master if he wants to make a college basketball team or be a star in high school?
I'd say just try picking like a couple things that you want to excel at better than anybody else.
But what do you think those things are that he has to excel at?
Okay, for a guard,
yeah,
I'd say one, you gotta be able to shoot the ball. Shooting the ball will make everything easier for you, because the defense has to play you closer. You don't even have to be like crazy quick, as long as like you're a respectable shooter, and they always have to close out hard. If you get the pass, you can make something do.
And you would put that at number one.
I'd say I'd put that in top 3. I wouldn't say number one.
Okay, no number specific, but
yeah. And then number 2, I'd probably say, you know, defense. You know, it kind of pairs in with what I was gonna say with the third one, but I'll put them together for number 2. For number 2, I'd say defense and effort. You know, coaches love effort. You know, defense is something that I feel like is like sort of, I don't want to say forgotten, but people don't really put enough emphasis on, just because of like ball is life, the highlights. Everybody wants to see a crazy dunk, a deep 3, but like defense is something that will really
it's necessary.
It's necessary. It's the other side of basketball. You know, you have your offense, you have your defense. And then,
just to interrupt you, sorry about that. I want to make a big emphasis on, if you cannot play defense and you're under 6 feet, you will not play on a college team, right? I just want to put an emphasis on that. But sorry to cut you off there. You
Yeah,
can continue.
no, it's all good. That's a great emphasis to make, bro,
Right.
man. Defense wins games for real, man. Defense wins championships. And then for the third one, I'd say something I wish I did more was probably like sort of like just learning the system, just trying to be like an extension of the coach, being a great passer,
Great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
Like me, like I can say like I can make a pass when it's there, but it's more about like the timing, seeing things happen before it happens.
Yeah.
And like as you get older, or not older, as you go through like the levels of basketball, you're gonna realize that the decisions become faster and faster, like split decisions. So if you're killing it at like a rec, slow pace, you could read what's gonna happen, you drive by a guy, you see someone coming up, you can make the kick out, but in a real game, playing in the college level, they're right there. There's help on, the weak side. You got a guy on the off ball side ready to like poke at the ball. So it's all like split decision timing.
Right.
So that's one thing that will help you get far, is if you could just learn like each system and do your best to like play, like be an extension of the coach.
Right.
Just like
be an extension of the coach.
Yeah.
I want to kind of go more in depth on that, because me and you, we keep it a buck here. I mean, this video is definitely for the young athlete, for an athlete who's currently going into college. Even college athletes can watch this. Extension of the coach. I feel like every age, guards definitely struggle with this, because coaching, player relationship comes down, you need to have a decent relationship with your coach.
Yeah.
Right? Your coach demands something of you, you got to do it. We've both been in predicaments where maybe we didn't get along with the coach. Maybe coach didn't see eye to eye with us. My last year of basketball ended because I wasn't an extension of the coach. Didn't mean I couldn't ball, but me and him couldn't get along.
Yeah.
So when we talk about being an extension of the coach, I would even put that higher in my list. I mean, I really loved your list, but what do you have to say to guys and athletes right now about being able to build a relationship with your coach? Because as much as we talk about basketball, you have to be a people person when you play the game. You have to be able to make a bunch of relationships and sacrifice how you may feel sometimes when playing the game. How is that something, kids or teenagers or even adults right now can get over? How can we find ways to, I should say, not being, like, a kid might be getting benched right now because he doesn't have a good relationship with his coach. How do you deal with stuff like that? How do you find ways to agree with coach?
Oh man, that's a great question.
I'm not saying that. He's like, damn, I don't even know.
It's a hard question just because it could be, so like vague of like or not vague of an answer, vague of like a situation,
It could be a lot of situations that's happening.
Yeah, that's different, but we're also but results in like the same thing. So the best thing is like, one thing, don't have an ego in this. In terms of like, obviously, like we all believe that we're the best at some point, that we could go ball out with anybody, which is good. Confidence is key, but it has to be to a point where you're able to still be like realistic and like level-headed, open-minded about like your situation, because there's literally times where it's literally out of your hands, and that's the biggest thing. People will trip about things that they're out of control of.
Absolutely.
They can't like have no control over it. So just control what you can and just, be humble, work hard every day, and just show that you're willing to learn, willing to grow. Because if a coach is not messing with you or they don't see eye to eye with you because of a certain thing, then you know, maybe try to look inwards and be like, okay, there's something maybe I'm doing wrong. Let's try at it from a different angle. You know, let's see if I could reduce my turnovers this practice, or let's see if I could not get beat that many times this practice, and just stuff like that, where it could show to the coach that, okay, like, he's receptive to what I'm saying and he's learning, he's going through it, because not everything is gonna just be picture perfect, you know. Like, over at Loyalist College on my last year there, I was like the team captain pretty much, you know. It was like me and two other of my homies, my teammates that we were like the captains. But being who I am, I'm sort of like a little bit more vocal than them. So I was sort of like put on a crutch to like do something pretty much, you know, just speak up, you know, get the team rolling, you know, bring the energy pretty much, you know, like set the tone. Because if like during that time at Loyalist College, I was probably like the second oldest on the team. I was like 22 and everybody else was younger. So like, if I wasn't setting this like the standard, then what type of team are we, type of thing. And then from there, I went straight from that to like basically sitting on the bench, you know, like a ninth man.
It'd be like that.
It was crazy. It was like a regression. Like I was on I was like a starter going into preseason, and then slowly started like my minutes started to like get reduced. So it was kind of like, I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of like frazzled, you know, just because of like dang, like what's going on, you know. It was like a new environment, and like I wouldn't say like me and the coaches weren't meshing well, because I had a lot of respect for them and vice versa, but it was more like the play style. So my play style didn't really fit, it didn't fit the mold properly.
Right.
You know, I was obviously like, you know, like I'm a good defender. You know, I hustle hard. So that's something that's like been engraved in me. So that could take me to a lot of places, but it's just the other stuff now, you know. Instead of looking for my shot, you know, swing the ball one more time, be patient. You know, I was playing with some legitimate bigs, so I had to learn to like really like, you know, get the ball down low, you know, to the block, you know, move away from the ball, cut, you know, set screens, just all the little nuanced things. Cause
that are important.
Yeah, because that's literally how we ended up winning a championship, you know. The identity of Durham basketball is like just like hard-nosed, smash-mouth basketball. So it's like
sacrifice.
Yeah, everybody contributes like all throughout the board. So
you mentioned that, you know, things went downhill. Every basketball player is gonna be in a position where they're the man, and then maybe might be 14th man.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Mentally, what do you do? Because speaking on myself, I was in a position where I wasn't the man when I played college ball. I wasn't the man. I definitely was a big factor on wins, and I felt like I was really skilled, but I wasn't the man, right? We had other dudes who were playing at a way better level than me. Things changed. Now I'm in a position where I'm coming off the bench. Now I'm in a position where I'm ninth man. Mentally for me, and I'm being 100% honest with you guys, that was one of the worst things that I've ever went through in my life, man.
It's rough, man.
It's rough. What would you say to the athlete now who's going through that?
Stay patient.
Stay patient.
You just gotta just stay patient, man.
Yeah.
You know, because honestly, like, you have to always take everything as like an opportunity.
Right,
you know,
right.
opportunity to learn, opportunity to grow. You know, instead of looking at it as like why me?
Why me? Yeah.
It's more like,
the
okay.
Pity.
Like,
Pity yourself.
Yeah, just try growing through it. You know, not going through it, growing through it. Like doing what you can to not let the situation happen again, you know. And sometimes it might happen again and there's nothing you can really do about it. But it's just always about just looking at it as an opportunity to get better every day. Because once you start thinking like that, then like your whole your mood will change.
Absolutely.
Instantly. You know, you'll be more ready to tackle the next day, because there's times where literally it will feel like very dark. You know, you're in the tunnel, you don't see the light at the end, and you just feel stuck. But you just gotta just keep marching, keep walking through it. You know, and then you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
Yeah.
Real motivation right there. Yeah, that's definitely. I would definitely say the same thing. I just like hearing it from another basketball player's perspective because when you're in that moment, you definitely feel like you're alone.
Yeah.
Well, not really alone because other guys that are on the bench, the other guys that are on the bench, you guys start making jokes, and it's definitely, and there's definitely a lot of people that are in the same situation as you. So I would also add on to that, yeah, don't pity yourself, right? People are going through it, people grow from it. And there's definitely situations where dudes have come from being a bench player, being a no minutes guy to being the star of the team the next year, right?
Yeah.
So definitely keep going for sure. You've been injured before, right?
Not seriously.
Not seriously.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
luckily.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Well, I mean, strong guy, right? So how do you? Why do you think you haven't got injured? Like, seriously, I asked that question because, there's some players that are like, man, like just fall and they get back up, twist their ankle, they're good for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think that is? Is that just like, is that luck or is that?
I don't know. Like, I roll my ankle a lot,
Right.
and I try to play through it. Probably to like my own detriment, but it's just more like, if like when you practice your moves, and just making sure like, you're coordinated, you're just doing, if you're doing the same thing every time, the only way you can get hurt is if you're like overusing, like you're putting strain on your body by constantly like working every day.
Yeah.
You lift, you don't give your body enough time to recover. So that's when, like, if you're making like a move that you usually do and you feel something pop, or you don't stretch properly, it's just doing little things pretty much.
Yeah, fair. I feel like I got injured quite a bit, man, and I felt like there was nothing I could do about it. That's why I like to ask people, like, man, you've never been like seriously injured. I wonder that is, but thanks for answering that for sure.
I mean, there was a time where, what's it called? I had a hip strain.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of
what's that? Like, how long?
Probably like a week.
Oh,
2
okay.
weeks.
And
that was like a crucial time because like this is when we were playing against like some teams we should have beaten during that time. And then we ended up losing just because I couldn't like contribute because I was hurt. And that's something I have to I put on myself because that's all that could have been avoided if I was just stretching like just daily.
Man, we talking about stretching. I might have to skip over that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I never stretch, man. It's actually terrible. I'm getting a little bit too truthful. They're gonna be like, come on. But yeah, I never stretch. I definitely should, man. But I wanted to kind of move on here talking about the scene in Canada. For anybody who might be outside of Canada watching this, what do you think about Canadian basketball? I mean, we got guys right now, Shea Gilgeous, Jamal Murray,
Nikhil,
All-Stars, Nikhil, Brooks, who could have been considered All-Star snub.
No, he's playing.
He's playing at a high level, but Canadian basketball is definitely starting to rise. And I always like to talk about what's your outlook on that. What's your opinion on Canadian basketball at the moment?
Yeah, it's been brewing, it's been bubbling, and now I feel like it's coming to a point where it's not just from like one province, because Ontario is pretty much the face of Canada basketball. Let's be real.
Yeah.
All like the top-notch players have came from there from like the past, like for like pretty much all of like Canada basketball history, pretty much. Shout out to Quebec and Vancouver.
Yeah, Quebec's got some dudes, Lou Dort and
Lou Dort. There's more I'm trying to think of. I can't even.
Brad Zekas.
What's his name? He used to play on the Raptors.
Chris Bouchard? Yeah, Bouchard. Yeah, he's one. Yeah. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
I think you got it. But but now it just seems like, there's this high talent in like almost like every province pretty much. So it's just more towards like, it's like beneficial towards like just Canada basketball. And now like with all the clubs are starting to pop up everywhere, and like new type of leagues and sessions, and you even got Brody League here now. So it's like it's really starting to like we're creating an identity.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and as like, you know, time goes on, the kids get better, the game evolves, like Canada is gonna be like a staple like real soon, in my opinion. I think all we're missing is just like an Olympic win, bro. 2028.
Yeah, we need one of those.
Yeah, I think we have the talent to do that. You know,
Yeah, for sure. What we come last year? Was it last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago,
2024.
yeah.
I would say
we third or something?
I can't even remember.
Like we were third. I think we got the bronze.
We were like a top 5 team, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't, you know, USA, Germany, like Spain. I don't know.
These guys
France.
always, yeah.
Yeah, and then Canada right there at 5, I'd say. I could be wrong, but
no. Yeah. I think you're pretty spot on.
Yeah. Like, how do you think social media
has like impacted the game?
Impacted the game.
Yeah. No, social media has definitely impacted the game at a very high rate, man. I think a lot of, like I was kind of saying this earlier, but I think a lot of guys are leaning into reels other than focusing on a full NBA game or a full college game. Everything is very condensed now. You watch an NCAA highlight tape, like 17 minutes across the board on YouTube. You want to look at a ball handling drill, well, Reels has it there for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I feel like with our attention rate going down, we're starting to lose focus, right, on making mistakes. When I train kids, I'm like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. I think that has to do with everybody doing things perfectly right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's all
like,
it's a video.
It's just a video. It's like a 30-second video. We don't know how long it took this dude to do spiders. And you know what I mean? Like on the like behind in and out. We don't know how long it took someone to do that. When I tell a kid to do that, do a combo, 3-piece combo, it takes them a while. And I think they get frustrated because everything looks easy nowadays.
Because the reels and all
that.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that should cook me too. Because I dealt with a lot of, in my, like currently, when I was, well, not currently, a couple years back when I was playing college, I definitely had a hard time slowing things down. I was very go, go, go. And I believe that's because of social media, right? Like, I think a lot of point guards back in the day were a lot slower. And obviously that's due to the defense sagging more and more as the years went back. But I definitely had a hard time analyzing film and sitting through an hour and a half film day. That's very difficult to do for me. I mean, as much as I love the game, let's be real. At the hour mark, my eyes, you know what I mean? I'm
looking everywhere.
I'm looking at the clock, and I'm just gonna keep it a bean, right? Don't be like me, but I'm keeping it 100%, man. It was hard for me to focus, so I would definitely tell, these athletes that are kind of going into college or finishing up high school to really focus on film and really focus on raw game tape, right? 2 hours of game tape where you're seeing the turnover, you're seeing the possession game, who's winning the possession game, you're seeing how many pick and rolls have they ran, how many, plays have they set up that actually created, a good look at the rim. Like that is something that definitely has affected my game, and it's due to social media, I believe. What about you?
Honestly, I agree with it.
You agree with that? I'm telling you, bro, shit is crazy, man. Like media is definitely, but at the end of the day, it's a good thing too because it's easy. It's accessible. You know what I'm saying?
Accessible, easier to blow up from. All you need is probably maybe like a 40-inch vert,
right?
And then you just have a crazy highlight, and then boom, you're on like some sort of platform, or you're already in talks with agents
or some shit like
whatever.
that.
Scouts. schools, whatever. So yeah, it's like a good and a bad type of thing. Like a life of what you make of it type of thing with social media. So
Right.
yeah.
So wrapping up here, I got one more question. A lot of people tie their identity to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm someone who's dealt with that. Mental health just got to me at certain points playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to the person who's struggling right now, who's going through some shit, maybe, you know, not getting along with their teammates, not getting along with coach, feel like basketball's not for them at the moment? You know, all shit considered when it comes to basketball, what would you say to that person? Like, how, you know, I feel like you're someone who went through some shit like that too. What would you say? What's helped you?
Just going where you're wanted, pretty much. You know, when you go somewhere where you're wanted, you're always gonna feel like you have a purpose there. You know, when stuff gets hard, when shit gets hard, pretty much, that's when you start questioning, like, yo, like, why am I here? Fuck, this is hard, et cetera, et cetera. But when you play somewhere where you feel like you're wanted, then it just keeps you more engaged. You'll be able to have fun what you're doing. You're gonna be able to align goals for yourself where they seem like realistic and reachable. So that's like the best thing. And who knows how long that's gonna take, because you could be a first year, you know, and you could be going through the mud, and you won't get that to like maybe like your third or fourth year, maybe even fifth year for some people. So it's just all about just sticking through it and just going to a place where you know where you'll have a coach that's willing to let you grow, you know, let you go through your mistakes, you know, let you learn your identity on the court. And yeah, as long as you have like environment with great teammates is too, that's also an important thing. Making sure you have like good teammates, people to hold you accountable, people to push you further. That's probably like another like hidden gem that like you should probably look for too. You know, just people that got your back, because those people can really turn into like lifelong friends.
Yeah.
You know, people I still have friends out in Toronto. I'd be calling like from time to time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's dope. So yeah, thanks again. Thanks again for coming. I definitely feel like, you know, there was a lot of hidden gems here. We had great talks about the basketball game and what it's like to be an athlete. If you tapped in this far, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Share this with maybe a teammate, friend, co-worker.
Any fellow hooper.
Yeah, fellow hooper. Yeah, and like always, I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.